Yes, am I audible? Jobita, Jesleen.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So in the last class, we started with this phasor and phasor diagrams. We've already completed the average value of current, ERMS value of current, and we are over with AC generator also. Jobita, can you tell me what is the formula of the peak value of current for a full cycle? Peak value of current for a full cycle. Look into the notes and tell if you're forgetting. Turn your note pages, turn the pages. We stopped at this in the last class, so just a quick revision. I'll move further. Yes, Jobita, look into the notes. Try. We did two derivations for half cycle, one was for full cycle. So I'm asking for the full cycle. What was the formula?
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yeah, Justine.
Yes, ma'am. Now only I could start hearing you.
Now you are able to hear. Just now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I was just asking the average formula of current over a full cycle. Yes, Jobita, why are you not able to answer? Look into the notes. I'm not saying to answer from your memory. If you're forgetting, that's okay. Just look into the notes. Try to recall. We did two derivations. I am. What is this? What is I am, Jobita? The value of current over a full cycle. See your notebook, see the heading, you must have written peak value of current for a full cycle, the average value of current for a full cycle. Yes, Jobita, are you not able to answer? Are you unable to unmute? If you are, type the way you typed before. Your laptop is getting stuck. Okay, Jesleen, can you look into the notes and tell if you're forgetting?
IRMS sign. Ma'am, I
No,
don't
it
have the
was zero
notes.
class. Minus, we just had 1 - 1, that was 0 in the last class on Monday. See, you all are not revising. Here in the last class, we just had the class on Monday. This is the class on Wednesday. You people aren't revising anything. This was the easiest question. I didn't even ask you value of E, E naught, NBA, sine omega t and all. We did three major important derivations in the last class. And I told you all to do the derivations, to practice the derivations. Assignments from EMI, none of you have given. From chapter 4th, none of you have given the assignments. In fact, I have discussed the plain assignments with you. All the EMI assignment, I discussed it from my end because none of you from this batch, at least none of you submitted the assignment. So what did I ask you? I just asked something from the notes, and even I had allowed you to see the questions from the notes, the derivations from the notes, the formula. So either your notes are incomplete. If there is any doubt from the last class, please let me know, and from the next class, please revise so that you are able to relate. Okay, class C, the things that we have done in the first class, no, that are completely related in today's class also. The whole chapter is linked. These are not independent topics. Yeah, I have started with phasor diagrams, but these are not independent topics. Am I clear, Jobita and Jesleen? I hope you'll revise in the next class. We have a long gap before our next class. Yes or no?
Mm, Yes, ma'am. I was absent last class. I didn't see the recording yet. I'll see it this morning.
Okay. All right, Jesleen. So we'll share the recording with you. Just go through the recording. And if there's any doubt with the recording part, you have not understood anything, please let me know. Okay. And Jobita, you also. Okay. So, Jasleen, I think it will be a little difficult for you to understand this part, but I'll just tell you in brief whenever any topic comes. And if you're not able to understand, just feel free to ask from the first class because your first class has been missed. Okay. So just stop me or just you can ask small things if you're getting confused. Okay, Jasleen?
Okay, ma'am.
All right. So we have to start with AC circuits containing only resistors. So we just have the resistor and what is this symbol class? This we discussed in the AC generator. This is basically depicting that alternating current is present. So this is the symbol for alternating current because you don't have a battery here. DC is not being produced. AC is there. Now E is equal to E naught sine omega t. This is our formula. Resistance is resistor is connected with its resistance R. Okay. Now if I apply Ohm's law, now I hope Ohm's law you all remember. V is equal to IR. So if I take the Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. So this means I can say what is V here? V is basically the voltage. E is equal to I into R. So I will be equal to, current will be equal to E divided by R. What's the value of E? E naught sine omega t. Jasleen, see, AC alternating current is basically the variable current. Okay. Jobita, you also here, it will be a small revision for you. So variable current means which is changing with respect to time. You won't get 5 volt, 6 volt voltages like this fixed in AC because it is changing. Current is also changing, voltage is also changing. Here EMF is depending on time. Look, time, angular frequency, so it will change. So this is what we get as the equation of AC, the EMF. So we are calculating the equation of current now. EMF will be like this only. Current will also be like this only throughout the chapter. You will have sine omega t, cos omega t, because alternating current is cosines and sines curves only. These are curves, sine curves formed. So that's why we have such a different difficult value of EMF. It is nothing, it's just it is variable. The rest of it now you can relate. So if I put the value here, I get E naught sine omega t divided by R. How? I've just replaced this E with this whole term E naught sine omega t. Now look, E naught divided by R is nothing but the peak value of current. See, remember I told you in the last class, E naught is the peak value of current. This is the peak value of current. Maximum value, peak value. If I'm using the peak voltage, I'll get the peak current. If I'll use the RMS voltage, I'll get the RMS current. All right, so similarly, if I'm using the peak value of the voltage, I will get the peak value of the current also. So I naught is equal to E naught divided by R. So I can say I is equal to I naught sine omega t. This is the equation that has been formed for the current. And what was the equation of the EMF? EMF's equation was E is equal to E naught sine omega t. E is equal to E naught sine omega t. Now see, EMF's equation is also E naught sine omega t. Yesterday I told you this is the gap. So if EMF is situated at an angle of omega t and current is also situated at an angle of omega t. Current is also situated at an angle of omega t. You get the same equation here. I is equal to I naught sine omega t. E is equal to E naught sine omega t. There is no difference between the equations. So we say both current and EMF are overlapping with each other. If they are overlapping with each other, there is no phase angle between them. When do we have this phase angle? When current and EMF, they are separated. And by whichever angle they are separated, we call this as the phase angle. Now, since they are overlapping, there is no phase angle. These points you have to remember. So, current and EMF, both of these are the phasors. So, both these phasors are in the same phase. Both are separated by omega t from the baseline. Like this, current is also separated by omega t from the baseline. EMF is also separated by omega t from the baseline. Both are overlapping each other. And when I plot it on the graph also, see, the starting point is same. Now you can say, why there is there a gap here, or why is there a gap here? Because magnitude can differ. It can happen that EMF has a greater value than current. So I can draw it like this. Or if current has a greater value, I'll put current here and EMF here. Similarly, this is also showing the gap between their magnitudes different. This could be current, this can be the EMF. All are valid. It's just that you have to see. We are just now checking. We are not focusing on the magnitudes of all these. We are not focusing on the magnitudes of the EMF or the current. We are just seeing, are they in the same phase or not? So that completes with the AC circuits having only resistor. Let me quickly brief you with what we have discussed. First of all, in the last class, we started with phasors. Phasors were rotating vectors which represented the quantities sinusoidally varying. And then we saw what are phasor diagrams. Phasor diagrams basically represent the position of current and voltage. And they are rotating vectors, means you can rotate them and adjust their phase angles. Phase angle means the angle between the current and the EMF. While they can be separated at a certain angle from the baseline also. So when we take AC circuit containing only resistor, sinusoidally means something when we plot the graph of alternating current. No, see, direct current graph is like this, Jesleen. If I have current here and I have time here, so graph is like this. Means whatever, let's say 2 ampere of current is given in the circuit. So at 0 also it's 2 ampere, 1 second also it's 2 ampere, 2 seconds also it's 1 ampere, 3 seconds also, it is just fixed. Because in current electricity or till the last chapter, we usually got a fixed value of current, 5 ampere, 6 ampere, 3 milliampere, 4 microampere, like this. We never had I naught sine omega t current like this. This is completely new. So if the current is varying, sinusoidally means the graph that is obtained is a sine graph. This is how we see the sine graph. This is how we have the cos graph. So sinusoidally means as a function of the sine, the trigonometric sign. All right? A little bit
Okay,
you
ma'am.
must have got.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So yes, here we take E is equal to E naught sine omega t. We use Ohm's law. V is equal to IR. From here we just pick out E naught by R. That is our peak value of the current. Here this I naught is the peak current. I have told you already in the last class, I naught is for the peak value of current. For RMS, we directly write the value as RMS. Now we'll move on to the next circuit having only inductor. But before that, copy down this derivation. These derivations can come in the exam. Completed. So,
Yes,
clean. Jasleen, you too? Okay, let's talk about AC circuit containing only inductor. Now, E is equal to E naught sine omega t. And from the chapter EMI, we already know, we have recently done self-induction. So, E is equal to minus L di over dt. So, if I put the value of E naught here, I get E naught sine omega t is equal to minus L di over dt. From here, let's write the value of di. So, di would be equal to C minus E naught by L. L goes down in the denominator. Minus sine E naught sine omega t. And this dt goes up. So E naught sine omega t dt. I've just kept di on one side and I've left the term to go towards the other side. Now we'll have to integrate it. See, minus E naught by L will be taken out common. Okay. What is integration of sine theta? You get minus cos theta. Okay. Whenever we integrate sine theta, we get a minus cos theta. So here, class, look here, omega t is there, omega comes down. We discussed this in the last class a lot, that whenever you are integrating something, let's say sine omega t or sine 2 omega t or anything, this constant term gets divided in case of integration. It gets multiplied in case of differentiation. Like if I had to differentiate it, I would write omega sine omega t. And if I have to differentiate, I'll write cos omega t divided by omega. Okay, so here what we are doing, sine omega t, what's the constant here? Constant is omega. This is our constant, so this will be divided. So look here, what do we get? I is equal to minus E naught is there. Now look, what is there in the cos? Sine becomes cos, omega t is there, and in the denominator L is present, and this omega gets divided. When you have sine omega t, like I'll write it separately also. Remember, whenever you have sine omega t, integral of sine omega t is cos omega t divided by omega. Okay, sine omega t, when you integrate it, you get this with a minus sign. All right, this is what you get. So minus is there, E naught cos omega t by omega L. This is what is already present. In fact, if you want, you can remove this L sign and this minus will become plus. So you can put this as plus also. This will become plus because minus will become plus. What has happened here? Di becomes I, minus sine omega t will become minus cos omega t by cos omega. I have written this. L is there, I have written L. E naught is there, E naught, minus into minus is plus. So see class, this is what I have. So I am writing E naught by omega L separately and cos omega t is there. See class, I hope you know this. You can always write cos theta equal to sine 90 minus theta. This is another identity that you need to remember. Cos theta is sine 90 minus theta. Okay. The way this was for integration, remember this point also. And cos theta is equal to sine 90 minus theta. So what is theta here? Theta is omega t. So cos omega t will become sine 90 minus omega t. That's what has been written here. I is equal to E naught by omega L sine 90. 90 means pi by 2 in radian minus omega t. This is the whole equation of current. I'll just write it a little neatly so you understand. See, I is there. E naught by omega L has been taken here because this is already plus, so we are not writing. Now cos theta, this can be written as sine 90 minus theta. So see, this is the equation of the current that we are getting here. Equation of current is this. What was the equation of EMF? EMF was E naught sine omega t. See, let's compare. E is equal to E naught sine omega t. While what is current? I is equal to this whole constant term. Let's say this is I naught. This will be I naught sine 90 minus omega t. This was just omega t, while this is 90 minus omega t. Can you see the difference here? This was just sine omega t. But in the previous part, when we solved, both were the same. This was I naught sine omega t. This was E naught sine omega t. But what are we getting here in AC circuit having only inductor? E naught sine omega t, I naught sine 90 minus omega t. When I say 90 minus omega t, I can write this as this, or I can write both the things as this also. Or I can say 90 can be added there. E is equal to E naught sine 90 plus omega t, while I is equal to I naught sine omega t. So can you notice this? There is this 90 extra, which is getting subtracted from current and added to EMF. Means which is leading? Can you tell me? Is current leading ahead or EMF by looking at these equations? What do you think, class?
Is it lagging?
What, Jasleen? Jasleen, please repeat. No, it's okay if you're not sure. It's not leading. No, I'm asking out of current and EMF. When you look at the equations, this is the equation of EMF. This is the equation of current. Do you think when I'll plot the graph or anything, current will be behind or current will be ahead? Or even while looking at this, EMF will be ahead or current will be behind?
Current will be behind.
Yes, very good, Jovita. Current will be behind. Look, 90 minus omega t. There is a gap of 90 degree. This is very evident here. There was no 90 degree in resistor, but there is a prominent evident 90 degree which we are able to observe. Now the question was which is leading? If one is leading the other by 90 degree, but which one is it? See, Justine, here current is getting subtracted. So this shows that EMF must be leading, current is lagging. Or if you want to see from these equations, 90 degree is getting added to EMF. So that again proves the fact that EMF is leading by 90 degree, current is lagging. Got it, Jasleen?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
So these whole things I'll tell you later. First, this part. This much should be clear first. Voltage is ahead of the current by 90 degree. So EMF leads this time. See, they are not overlapping. They are not overlapping because they are not coinciding. There is a gap between them. So this 90 degree, which is pi by 2, is the phase angle that we write as phi. Phase angle. So voltage is ahead of current by 90 degree, or current is behind by voltage by 90 degree. Look, when EMF is already at 90 degree position, current has just started the graph, while EMF is already leading by 90 degree. So this is how we will plot. While when we drew the graphs of the resistor, both were coinciding, overlapping. These two were also overlapping, these two overlapping. Here we cannot make that because EMF is leading, current is lagging. Now coming to one more point, the I naught and all, whatever the constants are here. Look, class. Here, this whole term is basically I naught. Now, how and why, what all these things? This is basically I naught sine pi by 2 minus omega t. Okay, this was the equation. Now, I have put the bracket wrongly. Sine pi by 2 minus omega t. Now, what is this I naught? This I have to discuss with you thoroughly and in detail, but it will be a lot if I just continue with it. You write the derivation first, you understand this leading and lagging point, and you draw this part first. Then I'll discuss what is this resistance, what's next then. Okay, so this much you write, just absorb this much, and then we'll discuss the next one. Okay, we'll complete this. Please write it.
And
Okay, so let's continue from here. I was saying this is E naught divided by I naught, E naught divided by omega L. See, if we say the current is equal to peak current is E naught divided by omega L. So omega E naught is what? This is the value of the voltage that is present, and omega is the resistance. If you apply Ohm's law, that's how we get. This is the Ohm's law, right? I is equal to V by R. It basically means the resistance. See, this is a circuit having only inductor. So in the circuits where only inductor is present, the resistance is provided by the quantity which is known as XL. So I'll say I naught is equal to omega naught divided by XL. This is what? This is the resistance in that circuit, which is called as inductive reactance. This is known as inductive reactance. Okay, E naught divided by XL. I naught is equal to E naught divided by XL. Now, XL is what? This is like, see, the way you have R as the resistance of the circuit having only resistor. This is also the resistance of this circuit. Simple. The way you have the resistance. See, it's the measure of the resistance or opposition offered by the inductor to the flow of AC current. The way we have the resistance opposition to the usual flow of charges. So what is the formula of XL? This is equal to omega L. If you don't have the value of omega, we know omega is equal to 2 pi nu. So XL can also be written as 2 pi nu into L. These are the formula of the inductive reactance. So you can say I naught is equal to E naught by XL. But this is used only in the circuits where inductor is present. So see XL, if I say this is 2 pi nu L, from here XL and frequency, they are directly proportional to each other. So we get a straight line graph. We get a straight line graph. Okay. So that's it. This completes with this part. This is what you should know and you should revise. If you don't study alternating current from day one, I am repeating this. I said this in the last class also. You'll find this a very, very difficult chapter. You'll not be able to understand anything that is taught in the next class, and you'll not be able to solve any of the questions. It's a very small chapter. If you practice it day wise, you will not find it difficult because it is related to your current electricity, but it's just that AC is being used. Resistance is different for different circuits. The formula of different resistances are different, like inductive reactance is omega L. So please start revising, start studying, and take this chapter a little seriously, class. EMI, you'll be able to manage. Chapter 50, you'll be able to manage. But AC, many students find it difficult. So till here, you all have written. Just copy down this middle portion also. So then I'll start with the last circuit having only the capacitor. That would be the last individual circuit. Please write it.
Yes.
Done, ma'am.
All right then. Let us do the last circuit, that is AC circuit having only a capacitor. So see, E is equal to E naught sine omega t. Now we know charge is equal to capacitance into voltage. So see, if this is the case, we can say Q is equal to C into E naught sine omega t. So current is dq over dt, means I'll have to differentiate. Dq over dt means charge is C epsilon naught sine omega t. So I'll have to differentiate this term. Now when I differentiate this term, I will be equal to C. C epsilon naught will be taken out. We are just left with differentiation of sine omega t over dt. Look, one thing class, when you differentiate sine theta, okay, the constant term comes out and you are left with cos theta. Now, if my constant term is, let's say, omega t, so omega comes out and here cos omega t will be left. So I is equal to C epsilon naught. This is equal to omega cos omega t. This is the equation. Now, I'm just rearranging it a little bit and see if you're able to get this point. E naught C omega. Now see, if I write it like this whole thing, C omega E naught. If I write this as E naught divided by C omega, are these two the same class? These two equations, are they same or different? Yes, Jobita, you tell. Are they same or different? This equation and this equation. I have made it come in the denominator. Is it same or different?
Different.
Different, definitely different. Here C omega is getting multiplied. Here C omega is getting divided. Okay. Now what if I do? I make this again in the denominator. E naught by 1 by omega C. What will happen? Eventually this omega C will come here and it will become E naught omega C. So can I say the first one and this third one, first one and third one are same? 1 and 2 are not the same, but 1 and 3 are the same.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So we can write I is equal to E naught divided by 1 by omega C cos omega t. Now again, here we have cos omega t. So when you write cos omega t, that can be written as sine 90 plus theta, or same thing, you can write the way we have studied. So here, look, if I put the equations, if I make the equations here, this E naught by 1 by omega c is basically I naught. So here cos can be written as theta plus, not phase angle. Here we can write this as, I'll write down this. We can say here, this whole thing, I naught, I is equal to E naught 1 by omega c is basically the peak value of current. Now what is this? This we'll see later. So I can say I is equal to, this whole term can be written as I naught. Now cos theta can again be written as sine 90 plus theta. So here the angle is pi by 2. So sine pi by 2 plus whatever is the phase angle. We don't know. Let's say, or in fact, I'll write omega t right now. Pi by 2 plus omega. So pi by 2 is the phase angle. You can use phi also. So see, now let's compare the equations. Now this time current is equal to I naught sine omega t plus 90 degree. Or EMF, we can say E naught sine omega t. That's it. Here a plus sign is in current. Current is leading this time. Or you can write the same equation as I is equal to I naught sine omega t, while E can be written as E naught sine omega t minus 90. So basically here the current leads by 90 degree, voltage lags. So if you draw the, see, this is how it will look like. This is the current leading by 90 degree, and this is the EMF lagging by 90 degrees. See, current is already at 90 degree when EMF is starting. So see, this is the reverse. That time we had the current here. Here now we have the current over here. Let me talk about this denominator. This whole denominator that we have, 1 by omega c, this is written as I is equal to E naught divided by XC. This is the resistance of the capacitive circuit. Okay, XC is the capacitive reactance. It is the capacitive reactance. Okay, XC is the capacitive reactance. So what is XC? XC is basically the resistance of this circuit. XL was the resistance of circuit having only inductor. R was the resistance of the circuit having only resistor. Now XC is the resistance of the circuit having only capacitor. What is this XC now? Let's discuss. See, XC was equal to 1 by omega C. XL is equal to omega L. XC is equal to 1 by omega C. Omega, we know it is equal to 2 pi nu. So XC can be written as 1 divided by 2 pi nu into C. C is what? The capacitance. Right? Here we started with capacitance. C is the capacitance. Q is equal to CV. This is the same C. So this is equal to capacitance. This C is basically equal to the capacitance, while this is equal to the frequency. Okay, so this is equal to the frequency. I'll just write it. And C is equal to the capacitance. Omega is the angular frequency, the same thing. Now see, if you plot the graph XC, this is the same thing, opposition offered by the capacitor to the flow of AC through it. Now, XC and frequency, they are inversely proportional to each other. So the graph that you obtain is a hyperbolic graph. Okay, so that's all about the AC circuit having only the inductor, the capacitor. Write it first, then we'll discuss the rest of the things. Write it from here.